Today we're going to look at the automation engine feature in Plannr. Using the automation engine, you can build a blueprint for any process you regularly undertake that you would like completely automated, with multiple options for how and when those blueprints are triggered. Before we dive into automations, it's important that you've already looked through our guides on creating workflows using Document Builder, setting up your fact-find schemas, and the settings area. This is because each of these areas of functionality within Plannr may be used during an automation. Once you have your documents, processes, and settings in place, let's take a look at building a blueprint. Clicking on Automations from the Business menu will take you to the Automations dashboard. From here, you will see the status of any automations that have already run, showing the time and date stamp. Clicking into any of these automations, you'll be able to see when each step was completed, together with the details of any steps that were skipped or failed for any reason. Going back to the Automations dashboard, you can click into your blueprints using the sidebar menu, which takes you to any automations that you have set up or are building ready to trigger. Let's add a new automation blueprint by selecting Add New up here. We're going to give this automation the name New Prospect Inquiry. We would like for this automation to run anytime a new prospect is created in Plannr. From the Trigger dropdown, we're going to set the conditions that determine when this automation is fired off. In this instance, we want it to run on the creation of a new client record, and then we will add the condition for the field that is prospect equals true. This means that for every new contact added to Plannr, if this condition is met and they've been added as a prospect, this automation will run. If you wish, you can set up multiple conditions for your blueprint to run. But since I'm happy with this, I'll go ahead and click Save to start building the blueprint. You'll see here in the header that the blueprint is currently inactive. Once you have added all the steps you would like to be in this automation, you can go ahead and make the blueprint active. Until then, you're free to work on it until you are happy with it, without triggering it against any new prospects being added to your system. Along the right-hand side, you have the automation blocks. This is a list of all of the available functions you can add to an automation blueprint. To begin with, we would like to send our new prospect an SMS. By dragging and dropping this block into place, a side window pops up asking us to customize this function. We're going to welcome this new prospect to the firm, including adding a data placeholder which we have taken from our document builder to personalize the text. When the automation runs against a new prospect, the data placeholder will pull through the prospect's first name from their contact record and insert it here. If you do not have a mobile number as the primary contact telephone number for a prospect, the automation engine will simply skip this step. Next, we're going to create a case and call this New Prospect Onboarding. From our predetermined list of case statuses and types and settings, we're going to choose In Progress and Prospect Onboarding. Now, from within that case, we're going to run our pre-built workflow. This is a list of tasks for your team or the prospect to complete to gather more information in readiness for the initial client meeting. Let's select our new prospect inquiry workflow. We'll trigger this against the new case we've just created. Next, we're going to invite them to the client portal and send them a login. This will trigger an email to the primary email address you've entered in the prospect contact record, inviting them to sign into their portal. We can set whether the new prospect should have write and delete permissions and whether we want their login to be wealth enabled at this stage. These settings can be toggled on or off later when you're actually working with the client, so for all new prospects I'm going to select No for Wealth Enabled and hit Save. Now we're going to create a welcome document for the client and share it with them. The first block we will configure is the Create Document block, and here we will call the document Welcome to Plannr. We will select our document template which has already been built in the document builder, entitled Welcome Pack. Next, we'll go ahead and share this document with the client using the Share Document block. This document will be sent in a conversation via the client portal, so let's name the conversation Welcome on Board and add a message to our new lead. We'll select the document we've just created and hit Save. Finally, we're going to add a tag to this client and we'll call this tag Onboarded. Once we're happy with the blueprint we have built, we can set it to active, which means it will run every time a new prospect is added to the system. To do this, head to the Actions button at the top and click on Edit Blueprint to bring up the Trigger Conditions window. Scrolling down to the bottom, you will now see an active toggle which you can switch on and click Save. This blueprint is now active. Let's go and test it out. Heading over to Contacts, we're going to add a new prospect. I'll select that they are a prospect and enter in the basic information. Putting in an email address and phone number will ensure that those steps of the automation won't be skipped, and we'll hit Save to create this prospect. If we take a look in the New Prospects Work menu, we can see that a new case has been created. And within that case, we can see that the tasks from the workflow have been triggered. We can also see that they have been given access to the portal. Upon logging in, they'll see the conversation we started with them, along with the welcome pack we shared. Finally, returning to the advisor portal, we can see that the tag has been added to their contact record and an SMS has been sent to the phone number entered on creation. And that's a simple automation blueprint. We hope you enjoy building your automations to make your work life with Plannr easier and faster.